What's up? Back again for another video. I think I'm going to follow up the things that I've been talking about with just a little bit of a conversation on gear and the things that you want to buy and the things that you might need on your creative rebellion. Um, so one of the things about making art and making things in general is that they cost money, right? And you got to start from somewhere. So a lot of people think that if they get the most expensive thing, if they get the thing that their heroes had, if they only had this pedal, if they only had that thing, then that would actually like make them a better artist, a better musician, and that is somewhat true. So on YouTube, there's all these people talking about gear constantly, talking about like gear acquisition syndrome. Is that actually a term? I'm pretty sure it's a term. Um, and yeah, it's like you always think that something's shiny, you want the new thing, you want the new synth, you want the new pedal, you want the new blah blah blah, and you're just constantly stuck in a cycle of buying, selling, finding gear, testing, being disappointed, not liking it. And to me, what I think you should be doing is basically mastering your craft, picking up something basic, and then struggling with that and trying to make the best that you can make within the limitations of that thing. And then at that point, you progress and you try to use the more expensive thing, the next pedal, whatever it is that you might think you actually need. Because here's the thing, when you're just learning the guitar, you're probably not going to understand the differences between a $200 guitar and a $1,000 guitar. If you have the money for the $1,000 guitar, go for it. But I always also think that there's kind of something nice about starting off with something shitty, mastering it, learning how to be better at it, and then once you know deep inside that you actually need the better guitar because of X, Y, Z reasons, then it's mostly just vanity at that point. And we kind of also used to like make fun of those kids who would start skateboarding and just buy like all the most expensive gear, use it for like 2 weeks, and then just basically stop skateboarding. Meanwhile, we were dealing with, whittle down toothpicks, things that like, if you check out my board, like not brand new, maybe not the best, half the things are cobbled together. But we figured out like how to use them and how to get good at them. And then, once you understand that, oh, these trucks suck because of this, and I want trucks that last longer, or I want trucks that turn better, or I want wheels that have like a higher durometer, or whatever it is, that's when you buy the next thing, but when you're first starting off, just use cheap gear, buy cheap, buy used, learn it, learn the basics, because one synth is different from the other, but the functionalities are kind of the same. LFO means the same thing on one synth, and it's going to mean the same thing on another synth. Oscillator means one thing in one synth, and it's going to mean the same thing in another synth. Overdrive, gain, tone, you find these on all these pedals. They mean the same thing. They just sound differently depending on what, and like sometimes, yeah, you definitely want that sound. You want something that has a specific sound, and that's fine, and that's okay, and go for it. But for the most part, most people's sound comes from their fingers, comes from their feelings, comes from whatever makes them unique, and it comes from a sense of mastery and a sense of competency that comes just naturally and with time, not necessarily with the best gear, but with having experience. And maybe that doesn't sound great. Maybe that doesn't, maybe some people really do need that $1,000 guitar in order to feel motivated or whatever it is, or maybe it just makes them feel better. And again, if you can afford it, that's fine. But for the most part, I'm kind of aware that there's like a divide between rich artists and struggling artists, and rich artists, whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you're just starting out, if you don't have a lot of money, like don't bother buying new. It's fun to open a new box, but like half the time, I don't know. To me, I think everything that I bought is used. I think everything here is used. The mixer's used. Well, actually, you know what? The MPC might be the only thing that I bought new. And that's because at the time, used and new were about the same price. But everything else here was used. Pedals were used, um, the Volcas were used, the bass station was used, the speakers were used, um, yeah, the mixer, the keyboard, like all used. My guitar, like it's a used guitar. The bass, it's a used bass. Everything basically that I've had has been used, and so far it's been treating me right, and I definitely feel like they're kind of enough too. Like, yeah, sure, could the bass be better? Like, could the tone be better? Yeah, but like at the end of the day, for what I need it to do, it does just fine. And then the rest of it is like in my hands. It's in the tone, it's in the playability, it's in the things that I can actually like kind of control. Because if I sound like crap on that, I'm gonna sound like crap on the more expensive thing. So that's kind of the reality of it, And Jimi Hendrix would sound the same on $1,000 guitar and on a $200 guitar, because a lot of that is in the feeling, it's in the tone. Again, it's just using his mastery of guitars in general in order to produce a good sound. And I think that's kind of the base of it. So don't get caught in that acquisition loop. Don't get caught thinking that you need the new thing or that you need it to buy it new. Just get used, get used, save yourself some money, learn, and then once you hit the natural limitations of the product, then at that point, consider upgrading. Yeah, it's not a new concept, but at the same time, why not reiterate it? But yeah, gonna keep it short this time. Thanks for watching. If you like it, you know what to do.